Hey, I'm Ray Parker. I played Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace and Solo, A Star Wars Story, and G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes, and you're listening to Disney Universe Podcast.
We would be honored if you would join us.
To infinity and beyond!
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing. That was all started by a mouse.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Star Wars month. This is our favorite time of year. Every year we try to bring some fun, energetic Star Wars themed shows to you guys exclusively on our YouTube channel.
Energy.
Absolutely. And this is gonna be a nice, fun, loose show. First of all, I'm Joey, of course. Nice to meet you. And joining me is my co-host Alex. What's up, space brother?
Yeah, you know, going from the galaxy to the galaxy today, as we had some Lorcana. Our Glimmers of the Galaxy, other half is where you can find our Lorcana content. But now we're talking about our favorite galaxy, a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, and this so we're starting off this year's Star Wars month, 2026. Let's do a fun show we've been wanting to do for a while. So we're going to talk about Star Wars, we're going to talk about baseball, and we're going to talk about beer. Three things that this country does so well, and we could not do this show without our very special guest, Cris from Machtails from the Cantina. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm good. You know, usually I bring the energy, but last night was a late night. So I'm a little bit low key, which is good for the loose show, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So hey, it's an honor to kick off Star Wars month. It's definitely a big month for me. It's not only is it my birthday on May 25th, it's my wife's birthday on May 21st. She shares it with Empire Strikes Back. And our anniversary is May 24th. So George Lucas's birthday is in May. There's a lot going on, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It is Star Wars month and Star Wars fan month.
A movie coming out that week. You guys should have some plans.
Yeah. I already have plans to see it like 8 times in the first. I can't see it 8 times in the first week because I can see it twice in one day.
Oh yeah.
I know some of our screenings start as early as 8 in the morning, and last one's at 10:30. So
will not be alone in that quest either.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. We got Star Wars on the big screen once again, where it should be. Yeah, it's an exciting time, and like I said, couldn't think of a better guest to kick off this year's Star Wars month. Short story, if you haven't heard it before, it was Celebration 2015, and I was hanging out with good friends, Kevin, Raider Nerd Kevin, and Kat, and then. You know, a few months later, Pat, first of all, that was my first celebration, and it was incredible. I'm sure we'll kind of touch up on some of the celebrations, past and future, here. But then a few months later, Kevin sends me a link. He's like, dude, check this out. We're like in the background of a documentary. And I'm like, sweet. And, you know, and then comes to find out it is Cris. Forget, let us know what that was called, but it was basically your guys' trip to Celebration.
Yeah, it was the reality TV series.
Yeah.
Real fans of the saga. Yes. Yeah, we filmed that in the Celebration, and that's on Amazon. It's been on Amazon for a couple years now. I made 2 Star Wars documentaries, and a lot of the fans know before I made the reality show. And God, I got to tell you, a reality show is like a 5-headed monster. It was not fun or easy to do.
Yeah.
Definitely just a challenge. And oddly enough, it's been on the down low, but it is Star Wars month, and I appreciate you inviting me on as a guest. We are actually going into production this month on my 3rd and final Star Wars documentary.
Oh, nice.
I'm very, very under the radar. Even though I'm announcing it on your show, I'm not promoting it on social media per se, because I don't want to advertise something that's not done. But I am excited because, as you guys know, Star Wars always comes in 3s, right?
Yes.
You got to have the trilogy to make it complete. So I'm looking forward to having that one released next year.
Nice.
So
can't wait to follow the trails on that. And
yeah, we'll either be watching it at the convention or getting hyped and bumping it up at the convention, I'm sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. I appreciate the support and enthusiasm for sure.
Most definitely.
And sticking with like the original one, this was, years before we became friends, but I was like, I'm watching this documentary, group of friends coming from the Midwest to celebrate Star Wars, meet up with other friends that you guys have met, spread out through the country, and at an Airbnb with a refrigerator full of beer. I'm like, these are my people, Star Wars, beer drinking friends.
Yeah. Amen to that, man.
So, and like we're going to bounce all over. There's not really like a whole topic other than just banter about Star Wars, baseball, and beer. But I guess we're all kind of drinking something right now. So I'll start with our guests. What are you having right now?
I'm having it's a beer from California. It's Stone. It's the Mexican lager, and it is good, but it already has the lime and the salt in it. So it's different. Like, let's say you have a Modelo or a Corona even, you put the lime in, it's a process. You squeeze the lime, you put the lime through the bottleneck, you put a pinch of salt in there. The fact that it's already in there, it's okay, but it's beer, so I can't complain.
Does it taste artificial compared to putting it in there yourself?
I wouldn't say artificial.
Okay.
No. I'm trying to, I feel like it's maybe more heavy in the taste than it is.
An acceptable substitute to having to like cut a lime and do it yourself.
Yeah. And it's funny when you put the lime in the bottle, you kind of have the lime residue right on the bottle itself, but then that slowly goes away as you continue to drink. This is like there all the time.
Yeah.
I would say that's kind of a good way to describe it,
Interesting. I'll go next because Alex has a very special one. But I'm drinking a recent purchase from a local brewery, Movement. This was their super collab, Death Save, with some local and non-local breweries. Ism out of Long Beach, Rip out of Huntington, Ghost Town out of Oakland, and local Rockland Shred beer. Very tasty. And of course, I got it on my Star Wars hops glass that I got from Alex. So shout
That's
out.
A cool glass.
Yeah, that was a glassmaker called Conspiracy Glassworks. He did this whole line of glasses with hops as Star Wars things.
That's awesome.
I actually have a bunch of the stickers, and I put them around my my reusable growler, the insulated one. So I'll definitely be bringing that out to Celebration, fill it with some goodies.
Nice. And Alex, who works at a local brewery here, getting ready for their Star Wars theme offerings, has something very special he's drinking right now.
So by the time you see this, it'll be happening, and it may even be too late. So run your ass over to Burning Barrel Brew Co. in Rancho Cordova. If you're in California, we've got beer for shipping. But this one, this couldn't be a beer. It's so intergalactic right here. This is called Glow Goo. This is a galactic seltzer with pandan, which is a green plant, gives it its color and tastes almost like pound cake. It's got yuzu, citrus, lemon, mint, and cream of coconut. Obviously, Grogu is the theme of this one. We'll have 4 other beers and seltzers releasing alongside it, all themed to Star Wars, starting today or around this bouts when you're watching this. So if you can't get into Rancho, definitely check us out. Try and get it shipped to you in California, or call your friends in California, have them ship it to you. I'm always open to beer trade, so slide in the DMs, y'all.
That is good to know. That is good to know. I'm going to pick you up on that offer.
Please do. Yeah, no, we're for those who are watching and haven't seen, we do have a Facebook group called Hop Wars, which is just for fans of that, Star Wars and beer. We're encouraging, kind of people sharing their local breweries that they are doing Star Wars themed beers. And as you guys both experienced at Celebration in 22, having meetups to trade and share Star Wars themed beer, and hopefully connect and trade beers. That's between consenting adults. But
are you guys doing a panel at Celebration regarding Star Wars and beer?
No. If they want somebody to, I'd be glad to wing it. But no, I know we'll probably try and get together another beer share or bottle swap at a local brewery down there.
Yeah, for sure.
If Lucasfilm or whoever wants to do something about it, it feels like that would be like an inquisition where they're calling all the people in and then slap them all with cease and desist, right?
Yeah.
Be like, oh, you guys, make all these great beers, tributing. Come on, we'll have you on a panel. Here's one for you. Here's one for you. Here's one for you.
Yeah.
I always work with my boss. If we get a cease and desist from Disney, that just means that we're making something good.
Yeah, amen to that, man. It's funny. I remember I want to say it was 2022. There was a group of people that did a panel in one of the smaller rooms, and it was focused on drinking. Nice. And I think it might have been more focused on maybe the drinkware, maybe different tikis, different pint glasses, different coasters. I can't remember.
The history of like glassware. I know everyone talks about the Burger King cups and things like that.
Yeah, maybe something more along those lines. But I was like, oh my God, I did not think that this was going to be a panel at Celebration. But it was, and I stayed for the first half of it. It was entertaining. It was interesting, I should say.
That's cool. And just a case in point, and everybody thinks about the big ones, but I definitely again hopefully getting out there for my first time next year will not be ignoring the small ones. I think those are the diamonds in the rough, and
for sure,
places you have the opportunities to make real connections with people all over the world. So.
Yeah, the small panels have always been the spot where you get away from that super big crowd, more intimate, like you said, make some connections. You're there. It's more focused on a niche, So it's a good way to bring in like-minded people in person as opposed to just on a Facebook group, Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been one of the funner ones. Some of the smaller panels, because those are the true, like, in my opinion, the true fan panels. And like you say, you get the ones that are usually kind of have certain topics, so they're full of the like-minded Star Wars crowd.
Right.
So I have a little bit of a dilemma here. I'm about ready to crack open another beer. I thought that was going to be my 7 p.m. nightcap, but I'm like, I don't know. We're talking about beer. We're having a good time. Do you guys always rinse the glass before you pour something in? Always?
I wouldn't say always. I would rinse before I use the new glass. But if I'm doing the same beer or a similar beer, I might not rinse.
Okay. If I'm changing beer completely, would you drink it out of a can or would you not rinse the glass?
Is rinsing not an option?
Right now, no, it's not.
Okay, then yeah. I guess it depends. If you're going like from a stout to a Pilsner, I might drink it out of the can. But if you're going, light to dark, then I don't think it would matter as much. Because, if you have dark residue, it's going to bleed into a lighter beer, but something else. Or like if I had a sour in a Pilsner, so.
I think that's a fair question too.
Instance,
it's like,
if I had this, I would probably not put something else other than a stout in there afterwards. Actually, a stout in here afterwards would be really good. Probably tastes like a thin mint. It'd be nice.
Yeah, you
So I normally rinse, especially if like we're at a festival where they're like pouring multiple beers. If it's the same kind of beer, I'll just keep it going. But if I'm going from like a Pilsner or lager to something like a stout or porter, then I'll rinse. Or I also have no matter what, after 3 to 4 pours, rinse time, just because you never know.
It's about that time.
Yeah. Now, how do you guys feel about drinking like an IPA out of a can versus pouring it in a glass? Do you have a preference?
I would prefer it in a glass if I have the time and I feel like doing dishes, but I definitely subscribe to the amount of nose aroma that plays into the taste. When I'm pouring beers for people, if I'm pouring an IPA as a half pour, I'll still put it in a pint glass because, the opening of the glass allows you to get your nose into it, whereas the small snifter, not as much, even though the name snifter would lead you to believe that it does. That all being said, if I don't have a glass, I don't have a glass.
Right.
I have one of those really fancy Murr can koozies that'll keep your can cold for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Of course, I put that to the test by opening a beer and leaving it next to the bed and waking up the next day. It's still ice cold. Usually when we podcast, I'll bring my second beer in the koozie. It's like a little 1-can refrigerator for when I just need one more.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart for sure.
That's perfect. I know we're talking about like the bottle share, and that came from a connection I made through. The funny thing is actually through my Tiki podcast. But Kimberly, the craft beer pinup, her and her group from England are obviously big Star Wars fans, and so they did a big bottle share in Chicago. Celebration Chicago in 2019, and so you follow people on different Facebook groups, celebration groups that kind of give little tips and stuff. And of course, I always eyeball the comments that are like, "Is there going to be any bottle shares, or anything?" And this is when I was just brainstorming the thing, the Hop Wars at Rad when we did it at Rad for 2022, and then thankfully they were totally fine with us with doing a bottle share. So that's how it became kind of like just an after party / bottle share. And, which was a blast. Chris, you showed up. I was really happy with that, but, let me hang on one second because I'm trying to share something. I pushed the wrong button. Yeah, so we had a lot of people show up from all over. There's actually very international here. At Rad Beer Co. And it was just a good time. We did a light speed chug challenge to some of the Star Wars themed beer. What was that?
I remember that.
Oh yeah. So
I love seeing all the different Star Wars beer labels, and I try to share a lot of that on the Machtails from the Cantina show, but there's a lot, right? I mean, there's a, and they should make T-shirts out of those.
Yeah, absolutely. There's John. he was my helper. There's Chris right there.
There's me right there.
So this was a chug challenge.
Oh, we still got the Drunken Gentleman has a great Cad Bane shirt. I'm hoping to get soon, and Burning Barrel has made shirts every year with our Star Wars release. So I'll have to keep
that's awesome.
on this one.
Yeah, because you got to admit, man, the artwork on the cans, it's so cool. It should go beyond just being on the can. Yeah, there's John.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got the big mugs there.
Oh yeah, they're like, do you want a 16 or a 22? And I looked at John. I'm like, give us a 22. I think that was bigger than 22. I'm not sure, but
I think it's very rare. When I saw John today, of course, it's very rare to see him wearing something that's not Ahsoka. You know, he's always got the Ahsoka shirt.
Oh yeah, so and that was a great one too.
Biggest fan for sure.
Lightspeed Chug Challenge.
Yes, won by our buddy Eddie from down in the Anaheim area. So he won this print that I bought at Celebration. I bought me one too because my favorite poster is the Empire Strikes Back poster. So this was like pretty much an alternate version on Cloud City instead of Hoth. So it had the same positioning, but just different scenes. And
yeah, that's a nice piece.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's cool. So he won that for the Chug contest.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Prizes are always fun, right?
Oh yeah, we had some donations. So Kimberly, she did her unfortunately her late husband was part of Generation Skywalker, a podcast out of London or England. So they brought a bunch of stuff, and then I bought some stuff. A couple of people donated some things, but it was really cool because I just wanted it was more to just get basically beer and Star Wars fans together, hang out for a night, and we did a raffle, and the people that were in the Chug Challenge actually won it by raffle. They won their spot, and so I was telling Alex, I think yesterday we had like maybe between the raffle tickets and for the prizes and other things, I think we had about $60 to $80, which was pretty good, but we used that and tipped the beer staff or the brewery staff with that money because
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was packed, but but we're planning early stages of planning for LA for another event, and you're more than welcome to join in if you don't do something yourself.
Would love to, man. Would love to. It's really the crazy thing about Celebration in California is just even though it's these people from all over the world go there. It's the fact that it's got this California vibe, right? Like we didn't do any of the beer stuff in Chicago, Maybe there were some bottle shares and that sort of thing somewhere else, but there wasn't any event. I felt like, you know, and between your event and then the one that I did at Unsung Brewing, it was very, very cool that there were two beer events that were focused on Star Wars during Celebration. You didn't get that in Orlando. You don't get that in Chicago,
and truthfully, there's actually 3 too as well. The Resistance broadcast is also John. He's one of the hosts on there. He's a big baseball and beer guy too. And they did an event, I think the same night we did ours at Radiant, which is me and Alex always like to say it's technically, besides Ballast Point at Downtown Disney, the closest brewery to Disneyland, only like 5 minutes away. And so they did an event there, and had a little like live podcast and stuff. But that's what made me excited. I'm like, you got this Star Wars community that's kind of like a different type of community, So and so like I said, we're planning it again after the event. We kind of made the Facebook group, and this was to kind of like highlight some of the different beer releases from around the country. So I know I've been sharing a few. This was from Beer Zombies in Las Vegas. There's Zombie Wars. I know Alex will be posting some from Burning Barrel, but I think this was
they just put an Instagram with a picture of me holding the 2 cans up the other day.
Yeah. So Urban Roots, local here too. That's from last year.
An award for that at the World Beer Cup too.
Yeah.
There's my milk.
So we tend to get more active on this Facebook page around this time of year, but we're really going to start boosting it leading up to a Celebration.
Oh, I'm going to be spamming it this week. I've seen so many releases.
But I can't.
in the Chicagoland area, I think all across the U.S., right? You keep hearing these stories about, I think the alcohol industry in general is not what it was. It's losing, let's just say losing revenue because people are not drinking as much, if any at all. It seems like the generations that are coming up, my brother, he's 31, smokes a lot of weed, doesn't really drink a lot of beer. And I feel like that's somewhat of a trend. And I know that even the liquor store that's pretty big in Illinois, Binny's, they were at the point where they used to have beers from all over the U.S. Then there were so many Illinois craft breweries that opened up almost to the point where it was like, wow, this thing blossomed overnight. Then they lost all their shelf space to out-of-state beers to take care of the Illinois beer people. And then now half those breweries have closed. Are you guys witnessing the same thing happening in California, or is the craft beer industry still
No, you're right. It's pretty much that everywhere. The Craft Brewers Conference just happened last week in Philadelphia, and we're in the middle of Beer Week here in Sacramento, which kicked off with the California Craft Brewers Cup Awards, which I was at on Friday night. Shout out to Burning Barrel, back-to-back champion in the category of chocolate beer, taking home the gold in that 2 years in a row. But they did mention that this is the second year in a row where they've closed more breweries than opened since the craft beer boom took hold, And working in a tap room, I have my own, theories about things. People turned 21 during pandemic times when you couldn't go out. And obviously the internet probably plays a lot into, we're just less connected, physically as a people than we were in ages before connection was at our fingertips.
Yeah. So the social element isn't part of it anymore either, I mean, not as much, I should say.
Not as much, but, bringing people into the tap room with a good event, like, the beer shares and our Star Wars releases, things like that, always get people out,
The tiki
I think at the end of the
guys
day, you got to strip it back to what it was at the core is, if you can get a beer or a cocktail or a glass of wine anywhere, why should I go there? And if I can take it home, why should I go anywhere? Especially if it's at saving money. But to the end about people just drinking less, yeah, you're right. It's there. There's definitely you'll see a lot of trends and people trying to make NA beers. Hop water is something I enjoy a lot and has become really big. And then while still having alcohol, seltzers have become really big. It started with the White Claw, and then everybody kind of realized that they could do it so much better. And now craft breweries everywhere are making really amazing seltzers.
And that's what you're drinking tonight. You said that's a seltzer?
This is a seltzer.
Yeah, I got to get my hands on one of those.
They tend to be pretty light in body and, easy drinking, but it does offer a palate that allows you a lot more room for creativity. I shouldn't say more room because you can get plenty creative with the beer, but
sure.
This is by far the most creative thing I've seen in a glass since I worked there.
And that's crazy because I always say Burning Barrel. I was telling their owner, Duncan, we were talking to him like, you guys are like the mad scientists of craft beer and stuff. And I meant that as a compliment because the stuff they come out with their, I'm not a sour drinker or anything, but the stuff they come out with their like pastry sours and I mean, you're literally getting like peach cobbler in a glass. Or, blueberry pie in a glass sometimes.
Our sour collab coming up with Narrative that, again, I say is out now if you're seeing this. And if not, I'm in trouble. But
yeah,
it's called Queen Amadusa, kind of doing a hybrid between Amidala and Medusa. And it's a fruited sour collab with Narrative Fermentations out of San Jose that has blackberry, raspberry, passion fruit, peach, and marshmallow. So
that sounds good.
Yeah. No, it's just enough tart, just enough sweet, just enough pastry to make a nice little synergy there.
Yeah, Joey, you're talking about, like, I'm not a sour guy, but you get the cobbler or the pie in the glass. I know, and you guys, Alex, you're more educated on beer than I am for sure, just because you work in the industry. But I know there's the two kind of sours, right? There's the sour that's kind of tart on the tongue, and there's sour, Joey, like you were talking about. It's more of like a
pastry sour,
like a dessert, a liquid dessert.
Liquid dessert.
I think the difference is if the fruit is soured in fermentation or if it's added post fermentation.
Okay.
Then you can get even more with like the spontaneous wild fermentation, bottle condition, things like that, kettle sours. And
so it's the fermentation process is where you do it before, after, or linked.
Right.
Yeah, there's a place down the street, man. We used to talk about them all the time when we started Machtails from the Cantina way back 6 years ago. They're called Energy City, which is in Batavia. Batavia is Energy City. They nicknamed the town that. That brewery makes all that good stuff,
Yeah, thanks to Tavor. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. It's a website and app where you can get beers from all over the country.
Yes, I'm familiar.
You sign up every day. You get a selection of like 10 beers. You say yes or no, whether you want it in your box. And at the end of the month, they send you a box with all these beers. It's really, really fun. Gets very expensive very fast, though.
Yeah, I could imagine.
So, oh man, yeah. Like, I'm already just talk about this. I'm just my wheels always turning about what we can possibly do during celebration next year. But one thing that I also love that goes good with Star Wars and beer is obviously baseball. Now pretty much every MLB team and minor league team does Star Wars nights, and I know some teams, like at one time, I think the Giants would do 2 of them in a season. And
the Angels had 2. They already had.
Yeah. So I figure, we've all been to kind of different Star Wars nights, and I know, Chris, you travel all over to watch baseball, which is awesome. That's kind of a goal for me too. So
that like the beer ordering online, that gets expensive very quick too.
It's funny too, because you'll probably I would assume when you travel you're going to spend a little more on the tickets, but I've definitely been on some trips where I've had to spend all the money on the travel, and I've been so thankful that I've been able to get a cheap ticket.
Well, it depends where you go, right? Because I see so many people go to PNC. That's my favorite ballpark. That's where Pittsburgh Pirates play.
That's when I want to go to.
So many people sit in the lower bowl, and I'm like, man, you got to sit in the media level. Just the amenities are great. The seats are cushioned, and you get to see the skyline and the river. You don't get to see that when you see low. Kind of like Giants too, right? You go to San Francisco Giants game.
Yeah.
I want to see the water, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not sitting in the lower bowl in the expensive seat. That's sitting up, I want to see that whole, I want to see the environment. I want to see the things that I see on TV that's like, oh, that's pretty cool. People chase the balls and the kayaks in the water. You can't see that when you're sitting behind home plate.
Yeah, no, obviously bringing it home and relating here, I almost think of the different stadiums as the different planets and terrains we know from the Star Wars galaxy.
That's a great way to put it.
To your point, seeing it from the more panoramic standpoint is going to give you a much better image and idea of what you're looking at versus seeing it up close where, if you're just looking at the diamond, they all look the same.
Yeah, that's 100% right on, man. 100% right on. And the thing about ballparks, I'm not a football guy. I can't. I know I have some friends that are hardcore into football. They go to all the stadiums, and I'm thinking, you know what? I would think that all the football stadiums would probably be the same. But the thing about ballparks, every single one of them is completely different than the next.
I always say football is to be watched on TV. Baseball, you got to be there.
Yeah, that's a great way.
As much as I will enjoy, and I think we'll all say the reason you like watching baseball on TV is because of the voices that come with the game. that spin the tails and keep you entertained for the what used to be 3, now 2.5 hours, thanks to the pitch clock. But football stadiums, in my experience, are all pretty much the same, and the viewing experience is, you can't see nearly as much as you can on TV. But with baseball, it's not about really watching the game as much as it is about being at the game. The chants, the
it's an experience.
The vendors, the things like that,
Yeah, the smell,
conversations.
So much of that. It's funny. I want to make a T-shirt that says "Make baseball longer." I feel like I always go to the game as early as possible. I'm always the last one to leave, and I feel like time goes by so fast at a ball game.
It does now. It's weird. When it was never on a clock before, it still managed to be pretty, average in a time frame. As I worked at the stadium for years, I always knew the baseball game was going to be right around 3 hours. We're talking between
an average
45 and 3:15, like clockwork. For some reason, I thought American League games used to be longer because it felt like they had more pitching changes, whereas in the National League, pitching changes during the inning, whereas in the National League, they would change pitchers for pinch hitters because we didn't have the DH. So you wouldn't have the pitching change in the middle of the inning. It would, they'd already done their warm-ups.
Be at the top,
before the inning change. All that's just to say, now that there's a pitch clock, it's pretty much like clockwork. And I take great pride in being at the longest game ever at Oracle Park. Every time we go after 9, I say, "Hey, everybody, we get free baseball tonight."
Yeah.
We paid for 9 innings. Everything else is an added bonus.
Yeah.
And I like free baseball.
Although I do think they need to reopen the beer stands.
Yeah. Game starts over.
Maybe after a 3-inning moratorium. I don't know. But
so we got a list of like some of this year's, actually all of this year's Star Wars games, but do you guys have like any favorite memories from past Star Wars games, either a special guest that threw out the first pitch or one of the giveaways?
Well, God, I got to tell you, as far as the giveaways go, I'm in the Wampa Cave. This is the Star Wars room.
Yes.
In the other room next door, I call it the dugout. That's my baseball room.
Nice.
Now, I probably have the biggest MLB bobblehead Star Wars collection. And not complete because I fell behind because they just kept going. And it really started with the Giants. I feel like the Giants were the ones that truly put out the first Star Wars giveaways.
Yeah.
And one of them that really comes to mind, it was one of the first, if not the first, the second.
Pretty
was
early.
Brian Wilson in the Carbonite.
Oh yeah.
And it had like
that one. Yeah, he was doing his pose.
like a point, right? So it was
it's his pose he does at the end of after the
yes, that was the one. So I don't know if I can tell you my favorite because there's so many cool ones, and I have so many. Now that became an expensive hobby. I think the most I ever paid for a Star Wars bobblehead mashup, I dropped $100 on Mr. Met as a Jedi. He had the lightsaber and the robe. I'm like, I gotta have him. And I'm like, I fucking paid $100 for him. I did go. It was my daughter was born on August 14th, and I was
my mom's birthday.
Oh, it's your mom's birthday?
Yeah.
No kidding. That's
good
special.
day. Good day.
And I remember I had a ticket for Star Wars Day. It was like August 16th, right? I was spending the night with my wife in the hospital. When my daughter was born, I was sleeping on the pull-out couch. I said, look, I really have to go down to Star Wars night, the Cubs Star Wars night. I said, I got this ticket. It's an Anthony Rizzo bobblehead, and I got to be there. and I was so tired. It was probably the only baseball game since I've been 21 that I did not have a drink at because I was so tired. My friend offered me a beer. He said, "Hey, I want to buy, the new dad a beer," and I'm like, "Steve, if I have that beer, I am gonna fall asleep in the." I was that exhausted after my daughter was born. So that was kind of memorable. Got the bobblehead, added it to the collection, and it just Star Wars and baseball. It's one of those things that it's so cool when they have these nights. And I remember I was at a Giants game when we were shooting the second documentary. My wife and I went to what was AT&T Park at the time.
Yeah.
And this guy behind me, I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I was wearing a Star Wars backpack, and this guy was being a smart ass. He's like, "What the hell does Star Wars have to do with baseball?" And I'm thinking, dude, we're in San Francisco. This is like Lucas County.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even on a Star Wars night. I was just wearing a Star Wars backpack. And, I think there's a reason why San Francisco did 2 Star Wars nights, right? There's so much Star Wars love in that radius from the ballpark. It only makes sense,
You always hear about the people working at Lucasfilm going to games after work,
Yeah.
They jump on a scooter. They're close. I was going to say that guy is definitely in the minority because I feel like you would see any given night, not a Star Wars night. Like you said, you'd see plenty of Star Wars, and especially now that there's so much co-branded merchandise and things from years past. I mean, they were doing beanies and shirts. You mentioned the Carbonite. The Death Star baseball was a really good one. They've had a lot of
Death Star baseball.
Yeah, the one Joe and I both have is a Chewbacca. Do you get the one with the sound?
No, I got the Wookiee of the Year one.
That's the one. Right, yeah. They came out with one with the sound box too. I think it was the same thing. You just had to, pay for the special event or something.
Yeah, I got the regular one.
They were similar. You know what's funny? I go to the Cubs convention every year, and my third favorite team are the Giants. And I bought this. I got this flag, this Giants flag that was flown over Wrigley Field. It was game used, and I had it. And it was so big, and I'm like, I gotta sell it to kind of put the money back in the collection. So I sold the Giants flag. And what I did was I bought the Louisville Slugger Giants orange bat with the Luke Skywalker hilt.
Oh, wow.
I took the money from the flag and I bought that Giants bat. And the coolest thing about that bat, that was a VIP special ticket. I wasn't at the game, but I got it on the aftermarket. I believe that might be the only Louisville Slugger bat made for Star Wars night.
Yeah, I haven't seen many bats. I was just thinking too when we were talking how lightsabers lend themselves to, even though all the Star Wars fans know it would just cut the ball in half.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised they haven't done like a lightsaber bat situation.
Yeah, and this thing is. I got it in a case in the other room. It's beautiful, man. I take it. It's kind of okay. That would probably be the coolest Star Wars giveaway that I have is the Giants bat. I mean, it's full size, Louisville Slugger branded. It's a nice piece. It's probably my favorite one. Yeah, it took me a long time to answer that question.
Hey, well, we got there, and that's awesome. I'm jealous. And not even with the giveaways, but even like. It's cool seeing parents and kids all not like cosplay, but they're wearing all their, Giants t-shirts, but Jedi robe or Sith robes, and kids are all dressed up as their favorite characters. I have a orange and black Rebels Star Wars, just a Rebels jersey, baseball jersey. It looks like the Giants Orange Friday jersey, so I always wear that every Star Wars game. I even wore it. So last year, the Angels played the Giants during Season of the Force and their Star Wars game. And I was actually going down. So I told my girlfriend, I'm like, all right, we're going to this game because the giveaway there was the big A marquee that's out by the freeway. and it had the Millennium Falcon like over it.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I got that, but the Angels are my second favorite team, and when I go to games, I'll wear my Angels stuff, except when they play the Giants. So I was wearing, my Giants hat and that Rebels jersey, but that was probably one of my favorite giveaways too. But I think another one was a T-shirt when Solo came out, and I was actually going to wear it tonight, but I'm not. But it's just a shirt with a Millennium Falcon, like a schematic. And then where the gun turret is on the top is the Giants logo. Then on the back it says Solo 01. So I wear that one a lot. That's one of my favorites. And
yeah, that's cool.
Number of bobbleheads. Brandon Belt as like Boba Fett. Was a fun one. The Wookiee of the Year. I bought tickets when they had the Wicket on the speeder. And then when I went to go get it, they're like, "Oh no, you didn't get the special event ticket." I'm like, "Yeah, I did." No, you didn't. Okay. So I got screwed out of this bobblehead, and then I sat down, and everybody in my special event section had the bobbleheads. I'm like, "What the hell?" And then I have a very good friend. This guy was able to find one for me for Christmas that following Christmas. So
how did you not get?
Yeah, I was confused, but
yeah, that's good, especially if you were in that section and everybody around you had that.
Yeah. So, but it was Star Wars night. It was fun, but end of the story. I ended up with it. So thanks to Alex. So, but I'm sure he's been to a lot of games. He's working at the stadium. Any favorite stuff you've gone home with?
I mean, I'm sure I have a ton of them out in the garage out there. But my favorite wasn't from a Giants game, but from a minor league Giants game. Oh,
yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. This was the jerseys that they wore on the field at the River Cats Star Wars night. They've done a special jersey every year, I think, for the last 4 or 5 years. It was cool because I saw people wearing the ones from previous years. They were not made for sale. The only way you could get them was a silent auction for each player's jersey. Yes. And so you know what I did? I had to go for the biggest one there, which was the mascot. Thankfully, it was just me and another 3XL gentleman bidding on it, and it didn't get too crazy. But yeah, I got it. Dinger signed it. I probably could have gone without that, but no hate to Dinger. When I saw this, the original poster on a jersey, this is amazing.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
So I'll probably be wearing this to the A's game when we go on the 12th.
You know what's funny? I got a small collection of those going on, and that's so cool that every team, and this is something for people to make a mental note of, collectors and baseball fans, especially Star Wars. Minor league teams will do those auctions. They'll auction off the jersey. You just have to know when it's happening. But the minimum bid always starts at about $100. And if you're the first one to bid on those, usually you're in a safe place because not a lot of people want to drop, a fortune on a minor league jersey, right?
Yeah.
So I ended up getting Durham Bulls did an R2 and a 3PO. I got those two. The Tennessee Smokies, that's the Cubs AA. They did a really nice Princess Leia one. And then the Schaumburg Boomers, independent ball, very, very good independent ball. One of the players was actually in the World Baseball Classic when I went to Miami. They did an R2-1, and then the Kane County Cougars, who a lot of my major league players have gone through their system, they did a TIE fighter and an X-wing in the trench.
Oh, nice!
And it's hard to stay away from cool art.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've managed to avoid. I got lucky, I think, between people probably looking for a jersey in their size or looking for a jersey from a player they knew. Going for the mascot was a good play for me.
Yeah, and
I'll be looking for that at other ones going forward.
Yeah, I love mascots too. It's on my bucket list to get a photo with every mascot. And I think that comes from just being a Muppet fan.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the story about the girl that worked for Jim Henson, she ended up leaving, and she ended up getting a job creating all these mascots in the late 70s, early 80s.
I'd love to hear more about that story. I did not know about that.
Yeah, so I can't remember her name. She was working with Jim Henson. She created Miss Piggy, right? We all know Frank Oz operated it. And she left on good terms. And a lot of major league teams were calling Jim Henson. And he's like, I don't do that kind of stuff. You want to call her. She just left. So she created the Fanatic. She created Yankee Doodle. The original mascot for the Yankees, and a handful of others, and that's kind of essentially. I don't think you would have mascots today if it wasn't for the Henson Company. I think indirectly, they gave birth to that concept. You know,
especially with a Fanatic kind of going around with the 70s and 80s, like becoming an icon itself and having a family and.
Yeah, for sure. So today, I didn't go to the White Sox Star Wars Day, but I had some friends there, and they sent me this video, and the mascot, Southpaw, and he's green, right? So it's appropriate. He had full-on Yoda ears today. Yeah. I have never seen a mascot altered for Star Wars Day. He might be the first.
Lucille has been Vader.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That big old helmet. I think Lucille's been a Jedi, too. I can't remember. I know it's been Vader a couple times.
Yeah, you throw the cloak on, I'm sure.
Yeah, with the robes. Yeah, you see a lot of mascots do it with the robe. But, yeah, I didn't realize that Lucille was Darth Vader with the helmet on, huh?
Yeah, open face, though. Just the bucket. Looked like dark helmet.
That's awesome. It is super cool.
So I'm going to just run through some of these. I don't know if you guys want to see all of them or some of them.
I don't know. Are you gonna pull up the list and click into them?
Yeah, so I'll just bring up the first one alphabetically first. Let's see. Then we can decide.
Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Gabriel Moreno. I think. Yeah, that's cool. I think we're gonna see a few of these Mandalorian with Grogu with a different player's head on them as we go through.
Yeah, Alex, I think you made a good observation, right? You said you feel like they got these templates.
Yeah, they probably mass-produced the body and set in different players' heads.
When Solo came out, they did the same thing. Like everybody was Han Solo Orlando, and right now there's a lot of Grogus that are very, very similar. Now, here's the thing: as somebody that collects all of those, when it comes to that level, I only need like one or two Grogus. I don't need every team's Grogu.
Yeah.
right.
It's now the players, because it's featuring the player. So it's a little bit more specific than just
with the Grogu. It almost looked, they're just changing the logo. Joey had mentioned that the A's and Giants both have a Grogu, but they are slightly different to the effect where it's not necessarily the same mold. So that's interesting too. But I mean, how many Grogu bobbleheads were already out there before baseball? The character's so popular,
Yeah.
I know for years Alex was saying that the Blue Jays should do a Boba Fett bobblehead. It's like
the Mets should do it now. Just make it happen for linguists and baseball and Star Wars fans everywhere.
Yeah, I noticed too that MLB has done a very, very good job on playing off the names of players. I think it was Juan Soto. They did Juan Solo.
Oh, so yeah.
Like, I think that Boba Fett. There's an opportunity there, and it should not be missed.
So far, it's been missed. So here's the A's Grogu that we're going to this game on the 12th. So very cool.
It almost looks like a Precious Moments doll. Like guys.
A little bit, with the eyes,
So he's.
But the ball levitating is cool. I like that.
Yeah, and I believe the Giants one, he's like force grabbing it, so the ball is like this.
Okay, so like a variant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks a lot like the White Sox gave away today. That one there. Yeah, so that link that you shared, Alex, though.
Yeah, no, keep pulling them up. I want to see some more of these.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if you want me to go all the way through. So
I mean, we could tell the people, let them know where this list is, so they can get some tickets if you're watching this into May. I know some of these Star Wars nights have already happened, and obviously, hopefully, you look at a calendar after you watch this podcast to make sure that you aren't missing something that you bought tickets for.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of cool ones coming up throughout May and even some later in the summer as well.
And this one's already expired, but it's another Mandalorian themed one.
I don't know. It looks like it might be Matt Olson. I know he's
possibly,
right?
But removable helmet. So
yeah, that's cool. I know the Giants did a couple of the clone troopers with the removable helmet.
We definitely had Brandon Crawford as a Mando or Boba Fett at one point. I remember that.
Yeah, I think I want to say Crawford was Boba Fett. Yeah. I think, and Buster Posey was the one with the it's like a magnetic face cover for the clone trooper, so you could take it on and off.
I got a Buster Posey on the Iron Throne, like back when Game was the thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, was that a giveaway or is that a FOCO? Like a higher end bobblehead?
I think it's a FOCO.
I think it was Pence. Wasn't it Pence?
We got another one on the Game of Thrones night there.
Okay.
This one my friend bought me. I got two of them because one of them got damaged in shipping.
So the Orioles aren't showing. They have 3 promotions going, but they don't show. But they have fireworks. They have a party at the yard, and it just says Star Wars weekend, but no photo. It's the next day. It's the next day.
I noticed too. Some teams will do a Star Wars night, but they won't really offer a premium giveaway.
Yeah.
You know?
So they're doing the weekend. So this is a Saturday giveaway. Jordan Westberg bobblehead.
Another Mandalorian. See, you know what's funny is these don't look the same. They're all kind of different, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So the other one had the Grogu on his little travel egg. This one, he's holding them up front.
Yeah. But you got to have Grogu. Can't have just Mando.
Yeah, Grogu is the one that's the mass appeal to the layman Star Wars fan.
How many people are going to have a chipped Grogu ear or Grogu's head's broken off? Can I have to return those? I guess there we go. That's looks just exactly like the A's one.
Yeah. Wait, which from a collector's standpoint, it kind of saves the pocketbook when you start getting 6 Grogus that look the same. It's like, okay, I only need one of those.
Oh, I would be pissed. Well, I wouldn't be pissed. I like Star Wars and I like baseball, but Lord knows I already have 4 boxes of bobbleheads sitting in the garage. I don't need 6 of them that look like the same thing, all from teams I don't really follow.
Now, I do want to share something with Star Wars fans here. Yeah, the Cubs sold out.
Same one.
That's a Giants one.
No, that's the
yeah. Sorry.
And the Red Sox we just saw.
And it's funny, I had no idea that the Cubs are doing a Star Wars because the Cubs have been really shy on Star Wars night because they feel like they don't need to promote, to get the people in. And I feel like when they've done it, it's like it's not really well advertised. I do want to share this website with people though. This is called stadiumgiveawayexchange.com. And for those of you that are like, oh, I wonder, how many other bobbleheads do they do for whatever team? If you go there, it's a couple years not up to date. So it's like, they don't have the last couple years. But there's a link on there that says Star Wars MLB bobbleheads. And it'll kind of give you a nice little checklist on, maybe who you're looking for, who you missed out on, or even if you're just curious about what has been made, as far as MLB giveaways.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
Surprise, surprise. What are the Reds doing?
Ellie De La Cruz? Oh.
See, same thing, right?
Okay, so we are getting some cookie cutter stuff. I mean, I'm kind of jealous I don't have a Mandalorian bobblehead in spitting distance yet. waiting to see if any of them are different from the two that we've seen thus far. The Giants usually have. Didn't you say the Giants had a VIP thing that was a Mando sweater?
A hoodie, yeah, that looked cool.
Full on hoodie too.
Yeah, Cleveland is the same.
I know the Rays were doing Yanni Diaz holding Grogu. That's a good one. So what I usually do for the Rays is I know so many people in the St. Pete area is I'm like, hey, I got a free ticket to the game, but here's the deal: you got to get the bobblehead and you got to mail it to me.
Nice.
You know?
That's a good trade.
Yeah.
So the Rockies aren't doing a Mandalorian Grogu. They're doing their Star Wars night in August, and they are doing a jersey.
Nice.
Oh, they're doing a full-on jersey. Oh, that's cool.
They're saying, come play for the Rockies. We still.
Yeah.
So
it's audition night.
Yeah, so you got the space backdrop, the Rockies logo in the front with the Rebel logo above it.
It goes well with their colors.
Yeah. Then in the back, it just says Star Wars night at Coors Field.
Now, I am noticing, Joey, when you're popping these up, too, it's like some are ticket packages, some are the first 1,500 fans, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder who makes that decision. You know, are we going to do a special ticket or are we just going to have a free-for-all? Whoever gets here.
So the Giants started as ticket packages, and then they became so popular, they became gate giveaways, but there would be an additional ticket package where you could get a different additional item. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
think that's the way to go.
I don't know if you can see in the picture, but their Triceratops mascot looks like it's a Jedi.
Yes, I see. You know what's funny too? His name is Dinger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know the story about Dinger the dinosaur, but when they were digging up the foundation for Coors Field, they found dinosaur bones.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was how they ended up getting a dinosaur mascot. That's
cool.
That's kind of crazy, right?
Detroit is also doing a jersey on May the 4th. It won't let me blow this up, so sorry about that.
Just kind of looks.
Oh, and that's sold out too.
Yeah.
Another galactic kind of background, but more on Tiger's brand with orange.
Yeah, that one's. It doesn't really scream Star Wars, does it?
I like the Harry Potter one.
The Harry Potter one's cool.
Yeah, the Harry Potter that one's it's sold out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Harry Potter one's cool. Yeah, it is cool to see a lot of teams participate in this.
What are the Dodgers doing, Joe?
Let me pull up real quick. I'm just looking at the Astros because they got this cool logo. Hang on a sec.
I remember when you did the Angels game, the Dodgers had the Falcon over Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, that is a nice one.
Yeah. As much as I don't like the Dodgers or Dodger Stadium, I thought that was really cool.
So I don't know, but I like this Astros logo.
That is really cool. Yeah, that's my jersey right there, but in Astros color. I would take that on a shirt, just that.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. They had more. It just seems like more of the fan stuff that they got going on.
Okay, so no giveaways. Oh, yeah, Orbit's got the Yoda look.
Oh, that's funny. He looks like Grover.
Yeah. That was
right there. It says it's a Carlos Correa Mandalorian bobblehead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just not pictured.
But it looks like it's a ticket package.
Yeah. So what do you want to see? The Dodgers?
Yeah. Let's see what they've got cooked up.
Hey, they got Grogu.
Same one?
Surprise.
Yeah, but the base is a little bit different, and it looks like he's in the egg.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different.
Surprise,
oh, wait.
surprise.
Oh, I thought I pulled the picture up. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that is different.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
His eyes look more like an alien. Are they just flat?
And his mouth is closed, not like half open.
They got the Temu Grogu, but the base is cooler.
Well, you're spending all that money on the players. You got to make cutbacks somewhere.
Right? That's funny. Temu Grogu at Dodger Stadium. Yeah, I don't know. Huh?
Oh, so I know Angels already had theirs, so
Yeah, I don't think I was there. Oh, why am I acting like I don't have this pulled up on the computer too? I'm just not sharing the thing. At least then I can help you see what they're. I want to see if anybody has anything different. So we've got jerseys, we've got Grogu bobbleheads. Where's
so
the
I'm doing
Mets?
this one for John. We're bringing up the Brewers, who also have a Grogu, but it's the same one the Giants are doing, where he's force pushing the ball.
Oh, okay.
So that one's pretty cool.
The Mariners Grogu actually looks really good.
Okay.
It looks kind of like a hybrid of the A's one, and it is on a different base where he's like It looks screen accurate, man. If that is what comes out of the box, that's amazing. Sorry, I'm overhearing another thing.
That is better detail, yeah.
That's a real. That can't be the real thing. I'm waiting to see what Seattle gets. That's awesome.
Love this photo.
They just took a screen grab from the movie and put it on the bobblehead.
They chat GPT'd it.
Yeah.
May 26th. Let's see what the Pirates are doing. Hey, they're doing Grogu, but is it also a great time for like the local cosplayers to come out and have fun at the ballpark?
Yeah.
The Twins have Grogu. We got
Here we go with the parrot with the Jedi robe on.
Yeah.
He's have a Max Freed Mandalorian.
Okay, so this is kind of cool. I'm showing the Pirates one.
The box.
The box is like the old packaging for the action figures.
Yeah, and you know what? I just got a pirate. I can't remember what player it was. It was from a couple years ago. Pirates player, same thing. The box looked like a cool action figure package. You know, so that might be a Pirates thing. I haven't seen that with all the other bobbleheads.
All right, check out the Cardinals. They got a good one.
Okay, only because we're Giants fans, we got to show a Chappie holding Grogu here. So, Cardinals May 17th.
Something different.
Oh, I like it. Sorry. That's a cool shirt.
Oh, we got a shirt, yeah.
Yeah, and the Mandalorian, is that Mandalorian with a baseball bat?
Yeah, like Chris's hat. Kind of has a Jedi.
Yeah, he's the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the ball is in the wrong place, but
right.
Yeah.
Well, Grogu's got the ball.
Yeah, he's stolen the ball with his force. And it's got the St. Louis Cardinals script on the bottom and Star Wars on the top. It looks like it has something on the arm as well.
It probably says Star Wars Night as my guess. I can't really see.
Yeah, but at least something different.
And speaking of Chris's hat, I got that same hat, I think, at one of the Wizard Worlds up here. I wore that thing so much that the black turned brown.
I did the mistake. I threw it in the dishwasher to clean, right? And now I feel like I need to take the power washer to it.
Yeah.
And then buy another one. It's one of my favorite hats.
Oh, yeah, me too. And I know since you're a Rays fan, this is a cool bobblehead that they're doing. Andy Diaz.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, yeah, I've seen 2 or 3 different molds of the Mando, but I've seen a lot of different Mandos. I was just looking, the Padres have a Jackson Merrill. The Phillies are doing a Bryce Harper Mando.
Now, the other ones that have the mold and Mando, I know the Rays one, it actually had the Mando and Grogu logo on it. Have you seen that on the other players' bobbleheads?
No, I don't. I didn't even pay attention.
It's almost like movie specific, you know? Like,
yeah.
Here's something from the movie kind of thing. Yeah, that one's a little different.
Ooh, go to the Texas Rangers. This is a good one.
Scrolling down. Some of these sites, it goes straight to the Star Wars night, or it doesn't.
Promotions page.
Oh, trying to blow up on it, but I guess I can't. So let me bring it up.
Shout out to the teams that didn't get the same thing that every other team got. It's like a hockey jersey. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Hockey shirt. Very cool.
This is what team?
Texas
The Rangers.
The Rangers.
Sunday, May 31st against the Royals. And you could do a Star Wars Barbie weekend. Look at that.
Yeah.
Barbie on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars. That would be a fun duo.
Star Wars, the Barbie Strikes Back.
The Barbie one sells out quite a bit, too. That's a
Hello Kitty's been very popular.
Yeah,
Hello Kitty nights have had big crowds and fights over giveaways.
That's another one the Giants added to this year.
Yeah, I think either the A's or the River Cats have one coming up. Something I was looking at.
Yeah. Probably both. Yeah, I mean, definitely a theme this year, but a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you don't get as many Star Wars MLB nights like we are this year. This year, obviously, with the movie coming out next month.
What do we got? 3,
Seems like
6,
it's a focus.
9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 29 of the 30 teams? Is that how many baseball teams there are right now?
Yeah, 30, yeah.
So there's one team that doesn't have a Star Wars night feature.
Oh, now who is that?
I wish it was
party pooper?
alphabetical so I could tell.
See, I would have thought it was the Cubs, but their night is sold out.
Yeah, so we got the Diamondbacks, A's, Braves, Baltimore. Who?
No, you're right. It is alphabetical.
Oh, yeah. Red Sox, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Guardians, Rockies, Tigers, Astros, Royals, Angels, Dodgers, Marlins, Brewers, Twins, Mets, Yankees, Phillies, Pirates, Padres, Giants, Mariners, Cardinals, Rays, Rangers, and Nationals.
Yeah, no, you just listed them all. I'm trying to figure out which one's not there because I'm trying to go through the divisions in my head. This is going to bother me. But someone out there and then the internet is watching us is like, it's me. My team didn't represent me in my Star Wars fandom. I'm sad because my team didn't do it.
The Expos. I don't know.
Yeah, who is missing? Who is missing? Yeah, I'm 90% sure there's 30 teams right now.
In the Central, Cubs, Brewers, Reds. Who else in that NL Central? Cardinals.
There are 30 teams. I just reconfirmed that. Yes. So I was right on that. Yeah, who the hell's missing?
Braves, Philly Marlins, Mets. Sorry, this is horrible podcasting, but
it is, but we got it. We got to know.
Oh man, yeah, who is
Baltimore, New York, Boston, Toronto.
Oh, Canada.
Maybe that's why we never got a Boba Fett bobblehead.
Hey, we figured it out though. Shit.
Well, now, thankfully, that Boba Fett plays in America, New York Mets, it's on you. Give us the Boba Fett bobblehead. For anybody who is interested, we found all these through a link. Major League Baseball, you could just Google Major League Baseball Star Wars Nights. I believe the direct link is mlb.com/tickets/star-wars.
That is correct.
Right to that. So definitely check that out to find out if you're getting a Grogu or a Mando and Grogu or something else.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And before we go, I know it's something, Alex, well, we both love talking about, and I know it's your favorite Star Wars movie so far. 10 years of Rogue One. I mean, seems bonkers.
Yeah, it does. It's. I feel like after the pandemic, time just goes super fast.
It seems like it, yeah.
And maybe because we're all getting a little older too. Yeah, it is crazy. I you know what? It would be nice for a reissue of that on the big screen, but we did get that a couple times throughout the last handful of years.
Well, did we? They said that's coming. I'm pretty sure.
I would think because of its popularity, it would
with
only
the
make
show
sense. You know?
And I don't believe that they will attach any of the show to it, only because, like, it wouldn't do it justice to just have the last episode, you know? And I don't know how long people want to sit. I will watch the entire second season in the theater all day leading up to Rogue One. Give me that.
I would like at least like a 10 to 15 minute Andor sizzle reel.
Yeah.
That leads into Rogue One. I think would be fun. But
yeah, that would be fun.
All to say for, those of us like you who always love Andor and all of us, but I think for a lot of other people, or sorry, not Andor, Rogue One, Andor made Rogue One a lot more enjoyable. I think part of the fun conclusion of Andor was that everyone went back to watch Rogue One again. And I remember seeing tweets and stuff of people talking about how different scenes that didn't even hit them, they had tears in their eyes because they were thinking about the sacrifice. I know for me, a big thing was Cassian Andor kind of comes across as a dick in that movie, at least through the first half, before he's kind of redeemed and sees the light through Jyn and her hope. But having his backstory and what brought him to that point, it changes everything. It's so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say that Andor changed Rogue One for me. I will say that because I loved Rogue One so much, it made me love Andor more than I probably would have if I didn't love Rogue One as much as I did.
Same
there
here.
were times when I was watching Andor, I'm like, man, I can't expect Rogue One because it's not what I'm getting.
No, it's definitely not that.
It's different, right? It's a more of a backstory on the character. I mean this. I'm trying to think about how to say this. I didn't want anything to change my outlook on Rogue One because I already thought it was a perfect film.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it. But again, Andor I loved because I loved Rogue One so much. I don't think I would have liked Andor if I didn't have that passion for Rogue One,
Yeah, and I remember like a lot of people like, oh, Rogue One, so good, blah blah blah, on to the next. But I remember a year like, this is the best Star Wars movie, and people like arguing with you. But I mean, you kept the points you made kind of like shut them up. So I kind of like that because I thought the same. I had a feeling Rogue One was going to be good. I did not think it was going to be as freaking amazing as it was, and like I like Diogo Luna as an actor, but at first I didn't care too much for the character. But because, like you said before, because of the movie, maybe like his character build up in the show. But I still think it's still a top notch Star Wars movie. Even compared to the almighty originals, it's definitely up in the top 5. I was going to say top 3, but I know that I don't want to get too controversial on the first Star Wars Month show, but it's up there, man.
My favorite.
We can't forget last year, man. We had the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, and that when I saw that film, that was my favorite film. I absolutely loved Revenge of the Sith. Right, so it was Empire. Then I saw Revenge of the Sith, and I'm like, move over Empire. Then I saw Rogue One, and I'm like, move over Revenge of the Sith. But then when I saw Revenge of the Sith last year, for the anniversary release, I saw that, I don't know, maybe 5 times in a theater. I was like, I really do love that movie. You know,
it's seen on the big screen again.
We went together, man, sitting in the front. Well, not in the front, but just sitting in the theater and seeing that opening sequence on the big screen. And I saw it on the big screen, 20 years ago, but after having watched it on a small screen so many times in between, it totally shoots you right back in, and you're like, I'm locked in. I'm watching Star Wars, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping for a Rogue One release. Just to Star Wars belong. I love Star Wars on TV and Disney Plus, but they belong on the big screen. So.
Yeah, hands down, man. And I think we're gonna get that same feeling, like you just said, Alex, about being roped in. I think we can at least expect that out of Mandalorian and Grogu. And one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing Mando and Grogu, I'm looking forward to seeing it in 4D. I don't know if you guys have a 4D theater.
We have a thing called D-Box, but does your 4D include like smells and water, or is it just the moving chair?
No, it smells in water too.
Okay, yeah. Ours, I think, is mostly just a moving chair, at least at the main chain around here. There might be other. I know we have one. What's the one that we saw Predator in?
Oh, ScreenX.
ScreenX, yeah, where the screen wraps around the sides of the theater.
Oh, yeah. No,
that might be a fun way to check it out, especially if we are going to see it 5 times.
Not the preview day, though.
No, not the preview day. We learned you got to let them get it calibrated first.
Right. So how do you guys go into the preview day? Like the first screening?
I missed midnight release. I think that Thursday kind of ruined that. Am I wrong? Like, because it used to be Friday, right? And so they would start doing midnight and 10 p.m., whatever. Yeah. And now it's rolled all the way back to, at least here on the West Coast, I can't find anything before 3 p.m. Pacific time for a showtime. But they will go all night and up until, I think, 1 a.m. usually. Like when a Marvel or Star Wars comes out, that's what they'll do.
Yeah, you know what? That's the one thing that Star Wars is maybe missing. We're missing the midnight toy release at Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And we're missing the midnight screening at the movie theater to kick it off the day before. I think those two things missing is making this kind of feel a little bit less of an event like all the other movies that we had seen before,
I miss the toy releases. I mean,
I don't miss waiting in line for a seat, but I do miss waiting in line with my people.
Yeah.
I was just about to say those midnight showings and the midnight toy release, those were like mini Star Wars celebrations, in a way.
Yeah. I mean, you would meet people. Everybody was there for the same thing. There was excitement in the air,
I'm looking for this. Oh, well, if I see that, I'll grab it for you, and kind of people you just met in line, Yeah. It was a community driven event, and unfortunately, too, not only is Toys R Us changed because they still exist in some way or another. I know we just opened up 2 standalone stores in Illinois in the last couple of years, but as you guys know, Hasbro has changed. Oh, yeah.
Extremely, and I think that's a big part of it. Or it would have been a bigger part of it if Toys R Us was still around, too,
Yeah. As a Black Series collector, it's like... Although I will say the mall figures look pretty badass, but they're not coming out till like May or June now.
I just want that little kitty version of Zeb, Kara Zeb Aurelius.
$9.99 at Target.
Children's price. Give me that.
Can't beat it.
I can't wait, man. It's like I said, this is our favorite time of year. It's a movie year again, a new movie year, which is exciting. And like I said, I couldn't think of a better way to bring it in than, like I said, have Chris on talking about some of our beers and baseball. We'll chat about whatever brewery event for celebration for sure throughout.
Yeah, man, we should do a collab on that for sure.
Yeah, because Kimberly literally messaged me this morning asking, and then we have a local buddy that does like a apparel company, a beer apparel, and then he wants to get involved, and so I think it's something the people want it, man. At least I know.
People want it.
Even if it's just us, it'll be fun. But before we go, Alex, one more time. I know we didn't really do our normal mousekeeping, but it's okay because we are excited. But we'll do another shout out. Remind us what's coming out today at Burning Barrel.
Oh, there it is. You get to see some of the art there. Taste of the Galaxy. If you're watching this, it's already happened. So run, don't walk to Burning Barrel Brew Co. in Rancho Cordova, California, or our location in Placerville, California, where we also feature spirits. Taste of the Galaxy. It's a 5-beer release, 4 of which are collabs with other amazing breweries from California. We're going to have fun all weekend, May 1st through 4th. So if that time hasn't already passed, come on into the brewery, come visit me, enjoy some Star Wars stuff. We're going to have, there's a shirt featuring the art for Queen Amadusa, a couple of stickers for Amadusa and Glow Goo right there. That's the logo for that beautiful green beverage I was enjoying. So yeah, all come down to the brewery. And if you can't get to Rancho Cordova and you're a big Star Wars lover, check out our website. We can ship within California. And if you're outside of California, call your friends in California and say, hey, man, I need a favor.
Absolutely. And if you love Star Wars and you love good beer, you want to share some of the Star Wars themed beers you get in your region, join our Facebook group, Hop Wars, a Star Wars beer fan community, something like that. But I'll share the link somewhere down here in post. But Chris, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man. It's always fun talking Star Wars, baseball, and beer, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It was long overdue, but we are less than a year away now from hanging out at Star Wars Celebration.
Can't
celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, the new release of Starfighter.
There should be baseball going on at that point.
I would think so. I might have to deal with going to a Dodger game, I guess. But
I mean, I'd hope it's not a Dodger game, but if it is, between the Dodgers, the Angels, and the Padres, somebody's got to be home.
Yeah, I would think so.
or whatever, we just come back up to NorCal for a baseball game after Celebration. I'm going to have to work to make sure that we're making blue milk a month early for Celebration.
Oh, yeah, we definitely for trade. And Chris, I forgot to mention this, or have you mentioned to our followers and viewers, where can they find you and find out about the Cantina?
Yeah, they if you go to Machtverse on YouTube, Macht, my last name, which means force in German.
Nice.
Morgen die Macht mit dir sein. May the force be with you.
Nice.
Machtails from the Cantina. If you search that on Google, Machtails, you will find the links that will take you to where you need to be.
Awesome, man. Well, it's great chatting it up with you, and
always
can't wait to do this again. And of course, as Star Wars fans, we say goodbye with "May the Force be with you."
Morgen die Macht mit dir sein.
Execute Order 66.